Do you use any tools for SEO? There's a lot of SEO tool talk and everything. What's your stack?
Pretty boring. I love Ahrefs. Ahrefs is like the go-to, honestly. We also use Moz to find some additional links. There was a recent study that actually showed they do apparently the best job in terms of pure link discovery. That's good for us in the agency's standpoint where we want to show the client everything we did. If you're in-house, it might not be as important to find every single link that exists. So maybe you could just use Ahrefs for your keyword research, competitive research, link research, all those good things. We use SEMrush too as just another competitive research backup plan. Hunter for email finding. BuzzStream is kind of our CRM for outreach, digital PR. So our team all does database management within that. And I recommend that, especially if you're trying to accomplish scale and have lots of people. You don't want to be emailing HubSpot 5 times from your Siege Media accounts or they'll quickly blacklist you.
Yeah. So that sounds like a pretty simple like technology stack. It's not that complex. I mean, I remember asking you that question before and you just said like, I guess just Ahrefs.
Yeah, I mean, that's really 90% of the heavy lifting. But BuzzStream is a huge component as well in terms of database management for outreach.
Nice. Ahrefs, like the standard now. Shout out Tim Sulo. Hey.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. So one interesting thing we always talk about, we have like a members forum where we help people redo their content and stuff. And of course, I'll screen share my Ahrefs screen. And they're like, oh, how do I get that? And I'm like, well, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah. You pay for it.
So it makes sense for me to buy it. I don't know if it makes sense for you to buy it. So what I've always showed them is this other free SEO tool. It's completely free. It's called Google. And
Nice.
dude, Google is so
It's
cool.
pretty
So,
good, yeah.
so type in whatever term you want. I don't know, copywriting software, whatever you want. We're just using that example. Scroll all the way to the bottom and it shows you all the results. And now it'll often show you the similar searches like right in the top.
Yeah.
It's like you can find the user intent by just looking at the Google results.
For sure. Yeah, especially for the big terms. If you can use, depends on your sophistication, but if you can understand the short tail keyword like copywriting software, you probably can infer what the big term is. And maybe as a tip for copywriters who are searching, if you search something that feels like the main way someone might search something like copywriting tools, and then you look at the search and you see all the titles are saying something that not exactly copywriting tools, but something slightly different, that probably means that is probably the biggest keyword or term, and maybe lean into that instead. So like an example of that might be like copywriting software 2020 or like, I don't know better, like copywriting.
I know like if you type in the local result, like plumbers,
right?
It's not going to be like how to become a plumber. It's going to be like plumbers Austin, plumbers San Diego, plumbers New York.
So that's the hint.
So you're just like, oh, they're going for local results. People are looking. This user intent is looking for a specific plumber in a specific geographic location.
Right.
Exactly. So you instantly know that. And that is a free tool called Google. You just scroll to the bottom and it shows 10 different results that are the most common after that.
Yeah. And we use that hugely. I talked about BuzzStream, but for our prospecting, almost all of that is through Google. Our theory, and I think is, I don't want to call it fact, but basically fact. If you're finding the sites that link to you through Google, pretty good chance Google values those websites. So in turn, they should value those links from those websites if you can get links from them. So we do all our prospecting for people to link to us via Google.